So I'm just east of the Vegas airport right now, and there's plane after plane going right over me. So maybe you can kind of check this out. Hopefully that light's not blinding. Here he comes. They're landing just on the other side of me. Underneath my trailer tail. Gonna go through the California Ag Station. Normally these guys want to see your paperwork. They'll look at it real fast. They don't really look at it. Just kind of glance at it. Hey there, got office furniture. Thank you, you too. So now when you leave the ag station, we're on I-15 by the way, southbound. Unloaded in Vegas this morning. Now we got to stop in Ontario, and then we got to stop in San Diego. Normally I always get the green light on my free pass. Let's hope we do today. Yes, sir. So while I was home over the weekend, or whenever I was home last, we'll back up. I took a trip out to Seattle, and I took a load from Kent, Washington, south of Seattle to Denver. And when I got to Denver, I kind of smelled some coolant, and I thought it was the truck next to me, and I got to looking at mine, and I saw some coolant on the ground. Not a whole lot, but this reservoir right here was a little low. It was about right here. It wasn't all the way down there, but it was low. So thought I could see it leaking right off the top of the air compressor, and you can see what a tangled mess that is. Let's see if I can show you. Right here, this is where it starts, right off this water pump housing, and then it runs under there, through here. There's another connection right there, and it runs around the fuel pump or fuel filter assembly and way down in here, and it runs on top of the air compressor. And then there's another one. Let's see if I can get my camera. You see that other one right there? That's a short piece, and that's basically like a return off of it. Looks like I get a little oil leak. Not bad though. But anyway, so those were leaking somewhere. I replaced that, and that's kind of a job, kind of not. You can see that port right there. Kind of maybe stick my hand, might go to that right there, that silver. You just got to have a long extension, and that's where you drain your water. You have to drain almost all of it out. I put new back in it because I didn't know how old it was. But you could put a hose on that. You get it loose, then put a hose on it, run it into some clean buckets. You know, you can reuse it and keep it still pretty clean, I think. But to back up here, it's right there by the dipstick. It's in that. So what I ended up doing, changed my filters anyway. This is a fuel filter, and this is a fuel filter right here, and this is a primer. So I was changing my filters. I did a service on it. So there's like, you see this mess. There's no way I'm getting my hand in there. So I ended up taking these two fuel lines off, and it was just enough where I could. What you got to do is, see that? You got to take a screwdriver and lift up on a clip, and then these will pull off. There's an O-ring inside that. And if you put these back on, this is a DD15 by the way, 2014. And when you put these back on though, leave that clip down, and all you gotta do is just push against these, and when you hear them click in place, you'll know they're on there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections that you gotta do. And the ones down there on the air compressor are the real bare, but this is, I read on the internet, this is kind of a common problem. It's kind of a bad system really to have that these plastic lines. I mean, that hot coolant running through them and vibrating, and they get brittle over time. I guess mine had a little leak start, but I've read on some places where people have converted it to different fittings on the truck itself and then ran rubber lines, but I just leave it like it is. This part, surprisingly, was only $44, 2 lines, like they supply and return. But anyway, so if you see some coolant leaking off looks like your air compressor, and you wonder why would that be, that's why it would be probably. Hey, I'm down here in Ontario, California at the TA, and I'm having trouble with my air conditioning. This clutch isn't wanting to engage. So I was in Tucson, Arizona yesterday, and let's see, you see it right there, that silver switch with that electrical. It's called a trinary switch, and I thought that was the problem, but it wasn't. So got stopped here, and I took this plug apart that runs power right to the clutch, and I ran a jumper wire off the alternator, and ran a ground off the ground. Just got these big wires, my test light. So I think I determined this clutch is bad. That's what I should have checked the first time, because I thought it was that switch, thought it was low on coolant. Yeah, I don't know much about air conditioning. That's definitely, when it comes to maintenance, that's my weakest thing, which, I guess if you're going to be weak on something, that's a good thing to be weak on, because you don't have to have it. But it sure is nice when, yeah, in Phoenix it was 106. I didn't have any air conditioning, but not nearly as bad as what it is at home, if you ask me, as far as humidity goes. So I think we're going to wrap this one up and talk to you guys again.